CAT 2025 is coming, but I don't know where to start. If that is something you're thinking about, this video is for you. In today's video, I'll outline all the free resources out there that will help you get started with your CAT 2025 preparation. So without further ado, let's understand what I would do if I were starting my CAT journey today. The first thing I would do is take a mock. Now, I know this sounds scary, but this was the one mistake I made during my CAT 2024 prep, and I made sure not to repeat the same mistake in XAT 2025. And this took my score from a 96.8 percentile to a 99.7 in the XAT 2025. And the main benefit of sitting for a mock before even preparing for the exam is that you don't need to spend countless hours watching YouTube videos to figure out what the exam is going to be like. Instead, in just 2 hours, you'd have understood more about the exam than any teacher can teach you. The time constraint, the level of difficulty, the sections of the test, everything you need to know will already be at your fingertips. Your score is not important at this stage. The fact that you took a mock test is what is important. The next big question is, what is the free resource in order to give a mock? Here is where our first big resource for today comes in. So if you navigate to cracku.in and go to the mock test section and click on CAT mocks, Cracku gives 3 free CAT mocks. In addition to that, Cracku's past year papers are also very useful because the test interface is exactly what you would find on the actual exam, and many people end up searching for questions online instead of simulating the actual test experience. I would say this is a mistake that you should not be committing. Now, why is it that I'm talking about Cracku? The reason is simple. Their tests are something I've personally used, and it is especially useful when you're first getting started in the MBA ecosystem. Link to all these resources are down in the description below. Once we are done with the initial test taking phase, in order to understand the exam, I need you to start building the concepts. Now, mainly concept building is going to be key in the quant section, where you would need to understand the basics of topics such as time, speed, distance, geometry, algebra, and more. There is a huge syllabus of the CAT that needs to be covered, and mainly quants is where a lot of your concept building is going to be. With that said, let's jump on to the next crucial resource. Here is where a lot of YouTube channels are going to come to your rescue. My first recommendation, the first YouTube channel I want to recommend is MBA Pathshala. You can check out their numerous playlists in order to build concepts and practice questions. So that is going to be my first recommendation. Our next resource is again going to be from Cracku's side. Cracku has a dedicated section allocated to free CAT resources. Here you can find more than 5,000 questions across quant, LRDI and verbal, and I'll quickly show you the interface of how this works. If you go to the 5,000 plus free CAT questions, you would find a dedicated area surrounding different questions or different sections of the exam. So let's say we jump into CAT linear equations. Here you would find not only the linear equations PDF, but also dedicated video wherein they are going to be explaining the video solutions of these questions. So this is something again I would highly recommend. Yet another aspect I want the students to be aware of is that you need to stay in touch with your formulas from the first day till the last. And for this, you need to make your very own formula notebook. So of course, I want you to make your own formula notebook, but just so that you get a head start and you understand the kind of structure that needs to be followed in your formula notebook, you can refer to this quick resource that talks about a free formulas PDF. So here they've talked about all the different formulas ranging from algebra, geometry, and so on. So if you ever need a quick revision, this should be your go-to. Let's move on to the next big thing. Moving on to section-wise resources to aid in your CAT preparation, the first is the VARC section. The resources I'm going to mention next have been absolutely crucial in my verbal ability journey. The first resource is the RC99. Now the RC99 has 99 RCs across difficulty levels, and it also has a detailed explanation of RCs and their answers. My recommendation to you would be to do at least 2 RCs every day if you are a beginner, and throughout your CAT journey, try to bump this up to 4 RCs a day. To find this resource, you can simply type in RC99 on Google. If you still can't find this, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. The next crucial resource that I would bet my life on is the CR Bible, made initially for the GMAT, but this is absolutely important if you want to improve your critical thinking abilities. Now, what is so special about this particular PDF? I know this one's a long read of close to 385 pages, but I need you to understand that there are a lot of things in this PDF that do not require very intense reading. So I would say that this is at max only a week of intense effort. But after this one particular week, your CR basics would be absolutely clear. And once and only once that happens, can you really ace your RCs. So CR is essentially the base on the basis of which your reading comprehension skills will develop. So the CR Bible is one very important recommendation from my side. The next big resource that you need for your verbal preparation is going to be that of EON essays. Now, why are these essays important? The reason for that is that these essays would create a stamina in the verbal section, because a lot of my peers, they struggle with long paragraphs, and what happens is after reading 2 paragraphs, they do not have that mental energy, that verbal stamina to keep on going for the third and for the fourth paragraph. But on the other hand, what happened with me was I used to complete 4 passages at a stretch. That verbal stamina I developed because of EON essays. So what happened is whenever I'm reading a CAT paragraph, I do not feel that the paragraph is long, because I am used to reading paragraphs that are 10 times as long as a CAT RC. So this is one very crucial resource that has helped me out a lot. I am not saying that you can't score well at the CAT without EON essays, but this can help out tremendously well, not only for the CAT, but also making you prepared for the kind of reading that corporate life is gonna throw at you. Let's now jump on to the LRDI section. Here also, Kraku has yet again come up with a lot of free resources for students. So let's one by one take a look at them. Here, if you come on to the free preparation section, you'd find yet again the 5,000 plus free CAT questions. Here, if you jump on into the LRDI section, you'd find an entire section that is dedicated to section wise prep of different topics. For example, coins and weights. For example, miscellaneous LR, data sets, DI connected sets, CAT selection with condition questions, and so on. So the point that I'm trying to make is whichever type of set that you are not comfortable with, you can jump on into this particular section and figure out how you can approach these questions. Next big recommendation from my side is going to be the DILR resource, that is IMS Prayagraj's 100 sets playlist. Now, these are slightly more difficult sets, but you can take these sets up after becoming more familiar with the pattern of DILR. As usual, the link is going to be down in the description below. Last but definitely not the least in the LRDI section are past year questions and past year papers. These are the most apt resources when it comes to DILR prep, because this is what has already appeared in the CAT in previous years. For this, I've already shared with you. Kraku is incredibly helpful. Link is down in the description section below. The next resource, let's jump onto that. Next big recommendation in the YouTube arena is going to be Aptitude Jab YouTube channel. Hundreds of sets on this channel with a detailed video solution. I don't know what else you could ask for. This channel is something that you should definitely be checking out. The next big thing in the CAT journey is consistency, and consistency not just in terms of picking up studying every day, but you need to keep in touch with all the subjects every day. You cannot touch verbal one day and then come back at it 4 days later. I draw a simple parallel with the dating world. If you want to make your relationship grow, you need to check in regularly and build that familiarity. The same thing can be said about cracking the CAT exam. You need to book an appointment with each subject every day to make sure you are in your best possible form. Here, one resource has been tremendously helpful is my very own scheduling Excel sheet that I created to make sure I stay consistent in my CAT journey. So I'll quickly walk you through that particular Excel that I'm going to link down below. For the sake of time, I'll only show you the first tab of this Excel sheet. What I've done is I have written down the list of my daily tasks that I have to do. For example, I have to read 1 EON essay every day, 4 DILR sets, Quant modules, RCs, VA questions, mock analysis. So whenever, let's say, I'm able to complete that particular task in my day, I can write a yes and that cell becomes green. That cell becoming green was my motivation to keep on going every day. So this is something that you can incorporate yourself. Of course, if you need a detailed video about me talking about all the different tabs in my Excel sheet, you can type it down in the comment section below. Finally, to keep you accountable to the cat journey, a free resource that I leveraged was the Kraku Daily Target. This is basically a set of questions that you get every day on the Kraku website that helps you brush up on all the three subjects is in less than 45 minutes. This is especially very useful for working professionals preparing for the CAT exam. However, if you want to access the Kraku daily targets of days other than today, you should consider checking out the link in the description below with my coupon code SHLOK1500 to begin your CAT 2025 journey. With that said, let's move on to the final tip for today. My final tip for you would be to join some Telegram groups where students share free resources. This could be free mocks, question papers, PDFs of books, and so on. This last part can essentially give you anything you could possibly need to prepare well for the exam. I'll be linking down a few Telegram groups that I can find down in the description section below. More importantly, if you would like a community of like-minded peers who are prepping, which trust me is an absolute boon when you are going to start running the marathon called the CAT. So this becomes a very crucial resource. So my best wishes with everyone preparing or beginning their CAT journey. Looking forward to your doubts down in the comment section below and catch you in the next one.